Welcome to Bucks Live, presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Bucks back home to start a 3-game homestand, but facing a team they have not been able to defeat yet this year, the New York Knicks, and it stays that way as the Knicks, a 116-107 win as they sweep the 3-game season series from the Bucks, and potentially these two will meet in a few weeks in the first round of the playoffs. We shall see. Giannis in foul trouble tonight, still gets 30 points. For Milwaukee, Mikal Bridges chips in 26 for the New York Knicks, and OG Anunoby leads all scores with 31 here tonight. A very steady game down low for the Bucks big man, and the Bucks fall here as we welcome you to the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Cracky Sean and Steve Novak. Steve just got done calling tonight's game, and no Jalen Brunson for New York, and again, the Bucks just struggling to score points, get that offense together. A lot of turnovers against this Knicks team.
Yeah, they really were smothering. You could just see defensively the way they were able to steal the ball, create all kind of turnovers. And, you know, defensively, I think Giannis got free a little bit, but there's no question they understood how to kind of start on the interior on Giannis and then build out. And on a lot of possessions, when they were able to get a big body like an OG Anunoby or a Cat on Giannis, they were really able to stay home, I thought, defensively on all the other Bucks. And so you got to give them a lot of credit, sitting in the 3 seed currently, the New York Knicks, and playing this style all year with a ton of physicality, with their starters playing high minutes, higher minutes than any other team in the league. That's the way Coach Tibbs liked to do it. And without their star, Jalen Brunson, I think you got to tip your cap. This was a night where they seemed to just bring that physicality a little bit more, and they benefited from it with those offensive boards, the turnovers, and then the points off of turnovers.
Yeah, they may log a lot of minutes, but they don't look tired at all on the court. Turnovers for Milwaukee have been a problem in and out all season. Down this latest stretch, 16 turnovers lead to 26 points.
Yeah, and that's a huge piece of how they score the ball. I think they understand that. And when they don't play big defense, they don't get steals, they lose games. And so they understand that's their identity. They've got the pieces for it. You've got some all-world defensive players out there. You got the Mikal Bridges. You've got the OG Anunobys. And then it leads to possessions like that where you're throwing it to mismatches down in the post to the big fella. And so there's no question. They understand their game. They know who they are. Even without Jalen Brunson, they do a great job of finding one another, of continuing to move. And they really are a group of versatile players. You've got guys like Josh Hart that are out there getting rebounds and assists. They're big-time defense, and they're scoring the ball. And there's no doubt it wasn't just a guy like Josh Hart. It's guys like OG Anunoby and a lot of other guys that came in and contributed. So this Knicks team, I think you saw why they're in that 3 spot, Gregors, and it has a lot to do with some of their stars, some of which are out there, some are missing, but OG has also emerged, Craig, as a star. He's a guy who's been scoring the ball more and more for them since Jalen Brunson has been out. There's really been an uptick by 4 points per game since the captain, Jalen Brunson, has been out. And so him scoring the ball had a 31-point clip tonight. Hugely impactful. Shooting it from 3. You saw him getting downhill at 6'7", 240 pounds. He tends to get his way, especially when he puts that ball on the ground. But when he's making shots as well, I think you're seeing his real value.
Bucks got as close to 2 after trailing by 17 midway through the third quarter. They had a great start to the second half, but then the Knicks just flipped the switch and they go on a 12-1 run. And OG's big fourth quarter as well certainly had a lot to do with that to seal the deal for the Knicks here in this one. Bernard's big money moment, the young kid Ryan Rollins, second straight game he has had a career high, 17 on Wednesday against Denver. What a follow-up, 20 more here tonight.
You know, he really is showing exactly who he is. And I think Doc was the guy who said it right from training camp. He said this is a guy who has shown how good he is. He's shown that he can be a good two-way player on the offensive end. Defense, look at a big shot to go into half. And then another wonderful three coming off that screen right there, knowing he had to shoot it with 2 seconds on the shot clock, but just really fitting in. And I think understanding there's certainly opportunities for him to be aggressive, scoring the ball, and to be offensive-minded when Dame is out. There's been other games where Doc has put him out there, and he's done a great job defensively, moving his feet, being a big guard, has those wide shoulders, and has really impacted this team. Had a shoulder injury and decided to play through it instead of having surgery, and I think it's really paying off that he's been able to play through a little bit of discomfort and pain, and he's really helped his team, and it's nice to see him having career nights.
Again, no Dame. Not sure when his return is going to be here at this point. Giannis leads the Bucks in scoring with 30 points, also had 9 rebounds and 7 assists. Karl Anthony Towns was in foul trouble, too, only had 14 in tonight's game. Kyle Kuzma put together a nice one. We'll take a look at his performance when we come back. All right, we're in the Deer District where the Bucks fall to the Knicks 116-107. Knicks take the season series. Kind of a Marquette reunion here tonight with Tyler Kolek, the rookie, and former Golden Eagle sensation. He's starting to shine for the Knicks.
Well, he is. They've got a ton of injuries with Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, campaign all out. He has really stepped in, and look at him having a good time. He's just got that grit. He played like that. He's pointing over at Shaka, who you got to think he's thinking, yeah, I got him better. I developed him here at Marquette a little bit, and what a joy to be able to watch him go out there and do exactly what he did here at Marquette and in the Big East. And the guy had 24 assists and just 1 turnover in the 3 games leading up with those injuries. Doing an unbelievable job playing. Now he had 5 points, 5 more assists. So now 29 assists, just 1 turnover in the last 4 games. But more than anything, just a great opportunity for him to prove exactly who he is and come out here and show it at Fiserv Forum in front of his college coach. Had to be pretty cool for him.
That is efficient basketball, to say the best there for him, that's for sure. Back at the Gerber Law offices, One Call, That's All Sports. As Bucks Live postgame rolls along here. Kyle Kuzma, 20 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. He was 8 for 16 from the field. I thought tonight he was aggressive. He was able to finish, where he's kind of been in a bit of a rut lately in that category.
Yeah, no doubt seeing him be more aggressive, I think, was key in this game and will be going forward, because I think he has to be really good for this Bucks team to be good. There's no doubt you've got to have a healthy Giannis. Hopefully Dame is able to get back out there. But Kuz, I think being the versatile self that he is, driving to the basket like we saw him in the first 2 possessions, coming off on this one, knocking down a nice mid-range jumper, and then spotting up on the weak side and taking what the defense offers. A lot of times it's Giannis getting double team and kicking it over to him, and at certain times when he's out ISO and like that on mismatches, whether it's Shamet or another smaller guard. So he's going to continue to be a really key piece if this Bucks team is going to, over these last 10 games, and now it's 9 games, really make that push to go from being in the 6th seed to something a little better, like the 5 or the 4, and then seeing what's after that.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. They are 3 games behind that number 4 spot. The Pacers, the Detroit Pistons also won tonight, so they are a full game, I should say a game and a half ahead of Milwaukee for that number 5 spot here right now. But remember, they play each other final 2 games of the regular season. All right, Doc is on the way. Another tough loss for his club to start the homestand. We'll hear from the Bucks head coach when we roll on a Bucks Live postgame. All right, Bucks fall here to the Knicks. Our Habish and Rotier numbers that work well. It's the balanced scoring for the Knicks. All 5 starters in double-figure scoring, and 6 on that board, led by OG with 31 points. Bucks, a lot of turnovers. They had 16. Here is Doc Rivers.
I mean, they had 18 more shot attempts.
Yeah.
Second chance points turnover. Is that just too big of a deficit?
Yeah, you're not going to win a lot of games. You know, we shot 55% basically. If you round off the numbers, and they shot 48. You know, you're going to win a lot of games. But it wasn't just the turnovers, offensive rebounds and turnovers. I think it was a combination of those 2 things, and that was the difference. You know, in the game, it's impossible to win that game.
Mikal kind of shirked loose early. OG scored, I think, 20 points in the 4th. Just kind of what made them difficult tonight.
Yeah, you know, we did some things defensively that I liked. The only thing I didn't like in it kind of got Bridges loose. You know, we had a concerted effort of taking Towns out. That part worked. The problem with what we were doing, I thought, got Bridges loose a little bit. So we'll look at it. I thought we did make a bunch of mistakes in the first half on it, on the coverage that we're supposed to be doing, but I haven't watched it yet. But I did like we had a game plan with Towns. I thought it worked terrifically overall, but we let the other guys get loose. Shamet hurt us. I thought DeLon Wright hurt us in the first half. But Bridges and Anunoby were the difference in the game tonight for them.
Those mistakes, it looked like the big was staying connected to Towns, and then the guard. Was it just picking wrong overs and unders? And
yeah. A lot of them we were supposed to go under, and you know that's all we worked on this morning. And you know, I think in the first half we had 6 times where our guy went over the top, and if the big is pushing up and you're going over the top, you're just ushering them to the basket. I thought we were a little better in the second half with it. But at that point, once you get a pro confident, now you got to deal with the pro.
Scoot has those 3 turnovers tonight. Yeah. Just kind of a rough night for him. What do you see that?
We're just trying to do too much. I thought a lot of our guys, Kuz is way better offensively, but 4 turnovers is too many for him. 3 turnovers is too many for Scoot, especially in 13 minutes. 3 turnovers is too many. And then I thought, we're a team that really trusts overall. I thought there were stretches in the game where we took the first available average shot instead of looking for the great shots. We didn't play good to great tonight.
You mentioned Kuz's game. It looked like he was given the chance to be a ball handler more and pick and rolls, dribble handoffs. Was that a concerted effort? And then also,
that was concerted, and I liked it overall. I thought him going downhill was good, and that's what we want to keep him. Going right, going downhill. But there's just things about tonight. They've beaten us 3 times. Today was the closest of the group, but all 3 times the DNA of the game looked the same to me. They were way more physical. And, after 3 times, they believe that now. And so we're going to have to try to change that somehow if we see them again.
All right, that's Doc Rivers following the loss. Hawks coming to town. Trae Young on Sunday. We'll take a look at that one coming up next. Milwaukee River looking pretty good here tonight. Warm day in Milwaukee, but the Bucks can't get the win to celebrate. That's for sure, losing to the Knicks. So here's your updated Eastern Conference standings. The Bucks, the number 6 seed currently, 3 full games behind the Pacers. Wasn't long ago the Bucks were the number 4 seed in that slot. And then the Pistons win tonight, so they're a game and a half ahead of Milwaukee for that number 5 spot. Hawks coming to town right behind Milwaukee. Looks like they're going to play in the play-in tournament there. Trae Young and company coming in on Sunday. Bucks got to figure some stuff out and get that win on Sunday night.
They do, because some of these games, it's just totally different matchups. And this is a game that last time Giannis played against Atlanta, he had his 7th triple-double of the season and was incredibly dominant, scored 127 points as a team and beat Atlanta, even though they've played this team 4 times, split 2-2 with them. I think it's a really important game because you come off of 2 losses on the road trip, and now this loss at home, and you just got to get it back moving in the right direction because there sure is plenty of good basketball to come. You get Bobby Portis, you get Jericho back out there. You hope that Dame gets back out there and things can come together. It just seems like this team is in a little bit of a rut right now, but there's no question. Getting 1 win can turn things around.
Yep, indeed. We're going to be on the air at 5:30 for that one tomorrow. Trae Young coming to town, averaging just over 24 points a game. Look at his assist totals at 11 here right now. So 5:30. Bucks Live pregame right here on FanDuel Sports Network to get you going for that one. Also want to remind you that tomorrow is our first game for the Brewers on FanDuel Sports Wisconsin as well. And our coverage for that begins at 11:30 on Saturday morning. Brewers Live to get you going. Brewers at the Yankees. Jackson Chourio struck out 5 times on opening day. So look out for game 2 for Action Jackson. It'll be a fun one. And we're looking forward to that for sure. That's going to do it for us from Pfizer Forum. Again, 116-107 is the final. Knicks over the Bucks. Hawks and Bucks coming up on Sunday. We'll see you then at 5:30. Have a great weekend, everybody.